holidays, fellow Sonic fans, and welcome to the Christmas special of our recurring sub-podcast, Got a Podcast. We're rolling around at the speed of sound. We've got places to go, and we've got to follow our rainbow. We're your hosts, Sam and Jack, and this Christmas, we're talking about the greatest holiday special in the entire Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, 1996's Sonic Christmas Blast. Jack, Merry Christmas. How you doing?
Merry Christmas, Sam. It's November 24th right now.
Yeah,
but you
it's
know
not
what?
even Thanksgiving yet, but Merry Christmas. This is going to come out at
Thanks,
Christmas,
Sam.
so
Merry Christmas to
I'm
you
trying
too.
to stay topical to when this is going to get released.
Yeah.
Which we never do,
So
but here we are.
Yeah, I was like looking at all the episodes that we hadn't released yet, and I counted them out, and I was like, oh, we need to record the Christmas special now.
Yes.
If we want it to come out on Christmas.
Indeed.
So, yeah. And so then we were like, what do we wanted to do another holiday special, right? We don't want to do another holiday episode, but we already watched the Star Wars holiday special last year.
And Jack wanted to watch again, but I talked him out of it.
Don't slander me like that, Sam.
That's a true story. No one's going to fact check me.
True. I'll fact check you with my truth, with my brain, my mind, my mouth.
Anyway, I interrupted you with my truths. Anyway, continue.
So, the one thing we were thinking about is there is a Lego Star Wars holiday special, but I guess neither of us were like super excited about that, and it just I don't know. There's as terrible as the Star Wars holiday special is, it is still like an exciting thing to talk about because it's so bad and weird and like just a strange piece of Star Wars history. And the Lego Star Wars holiday special did not have the same like excitement attached to it. So we were like, okay, well, if not that, then what do we do? We're kind of out of Star Wars related Christmas things to talk about, basically. Indeed. So we thought, okay, maybe we do a Christmas special from like a Rankin Bass thing, or we do like a Christmas special from a TV show that we like or something. And I don't know, none of it really felt like exciting to us until
or true to the Unlimited podcast ethos.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. Until I was like, I wonder if if there's a Sonic the Hedgehog Christmas special.
Yes.
I think what happened was we were looking at like lists of like greatest or weirdest Christmas specials ever, and I saw one that was like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show had one. I was like, oh, that's neat. Oh wait, I wonder if any of the Sonic shows had Christmas specials. And as it turns out, there's one. The original Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Sonic the Hedgehog animated series from the 90s had one episode that was actually its last episode.
Like, it came out multiple years after the series ended.
3 years after the series ended, they came out with a Christmas special episode.
Yes.
And it's the final episode of the series. It's called Sonic Christmas Blast. And it's what we're talking about today.
That it is.
Before we started the podcast, Sam was like, you know what? This is the best Christmas thing we've watched on the podcast so far.
It's true.
We're like, you know what?
It's true.
It is true. Well, I'm excited, Sam. I as soon as we like had the idea to do this, I was like,
it just felt right
because we have got a podcast, and now we're giving got a podcast its a whole like spotlight.
Yes,
a whole
we're
episode.
Finally legitimizing this ongoing bit of basically just us being excited about the next Sonic the Hedgehog movie or video game.
Yes,
and now
yes.
It has evolved and grown.
Yes.
You know what else has evolved and grown? These bills.
No!
They continue to stack up. Jack,
I can't believe it.
I know. I've been trying to gather up all the rings I can to pay off all these bills, but I stubbed my toe. And
no, you dropped them all.
I dropped all my rings. How are we going to pay? How are we going to pay for these bills?
I will tell you in a second when I figure out what the sponsor is. That was the one thing I was like, I maybe I'll come up with one while Sam's talking, and it didn't happen. So hold on, I gotta. I know we're about to go bankrupt. We're like sinking right now. I need to.
No, grab Jack.
I need to grab. And
Save us.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay.
I'm scared.
This week's episode of Unlimited Content is brought to you by the song Sweet Caroline.
What? Okay.
Because I just feel like, I don't know, I was like coming up with a list of sponsors like months ago, and I was like, what are some like just wholesome, nice, good things? And one of the things that came to mind was, you know, when Sweet Caroline comes on, everybody sings along to it. It's just I don't know, it's good. It's classic.
See, that's better than the idea I had,
which was
this episode of Got a Podcast is sponsored by the giant gun truck from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh my god, dude! In Sonic Generations, when you play through, in Sonic Generations you play through a bunch of like basically remixed and remade levels from throughout the Sonic franchise, and one of them is City Escape.
I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
That was so not in line with what I was talking about.
But it's Sweet Caroline.
You waited like 30 seconds after I stopped talking about Sweet Caroline
I know.
to do that.
I know.
Anyway, thanks, Sam, for validating my sponsor choice eventually. So in Sonic Generations, in the City Escape level, they like every like remake of each like old Sonic level in Sonic Generations is kind of like leveled up. It's like, you know, turning up that level to 11, and so the gun trucks. No, but it's bigger. How? It takes up literally the entire width of the street, and also it has saw blades coming off of it.
Oh, the saw blades are new because it does like barely like I don't like it. Yeah,
it's even more. It's like it's scraping against the sides. Oh. It's like insane. It's amazing.
That's terrifying. So I love it.
Yeah,
I need awesome. To get this game. I don't know how I haven't got this game yet.
It's fun. It's good. It's probably on Switch. I think.
I bet it is.
I think I think it is. Yeah.
That's the newest one that just came out. Is that right?
Yes, Sonic X Shadow Generations just came out.
That'll be my birthday gift to myself. I'm gonna get it.
Excellent. It's probably on sale right now because of Black Friday stuff.
Yes, perfect.
But yeah,
thank you.
Thank you to our sponsors, the Gun Truck and Sweet Caroline, for sponsoring this episode.
Two very related things.
Yeah. Well. Sam, how have you been? What's going on?
I've been good.
In your life?
Work has been consuming my life, but while I do work, I also get to listen to like podcasts and stuff.
Ooh.
And I finally bit the bullet and started listening to Dimension 20. Mm-hmm. And I binged an entire season of Dimension 20 in 3 days. While working, just at work. Yeah. So the entire first season of Fantasy High on Dimension 20. Dimension 20, for those, like the two people who listen to this podcast who don't know what D20 is, being probably mom and dad. Everyone else probably knows. Anyway, I don't want to assume. Dimension 20 is
we've talked about it before, but yeah.
We have. Yeah. But for those who don't remember, it is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, where it's basically these improv artists or stand-up comedians or whatever they are. They're all improv artists for sure.
They're all people who work for College Humor, so they're all writers and comedians. Yeah.
Yes, all funny people, good at acting and voices and stuff, and they do a playthrough of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and that whole campaign is a season of this podcast, and it's on Dropout, which is affiliated with College. Is that what College Humor like evolved into?
Yes, yeah. I don't think College Humor itself exists anymore. College Humor is now Dropout essentially.
Cool. But it was hosted and dungeon mastered by Brennan Lee Mulligan, who's one of my favorite funny people on the internet.
He's great.
And it was really, really good and funny and heartfelt, and I love it. I finished it today, it's 9:00 right now. I finished it like 6 hours ago.
Yes,
and it was awesome.
Isn't it?
I love it. I'm gonna be listening to more.
Excellent. Yeah, I need to. I've watched Fantasy High Season 1. I've watched a handful of other campaigns and started a few. I need to watch or listen to. There's 2 more seasons of Dimension 20, and also a special, like a live special they did. The second season was like a live season, so instead of being all kind of tightly edited together, it's just like a raw, like uncut stream. So that's different. I think that's maybe the only time they did that.
Was that their COVID season? Because the first one came out in 2019.
I don't. Maybe it might have been. Yeah. Probably yes. Actually, that's probably what it was. Yeah. So there's that, but then apparently, season 3 came out this year and was apparently very, very good. People are saying it's one of the best Dimension 20 seasons there have been.
Yeah. Are they more Fantasy High, or is it different campaigns? Because I haven't looked at what the rest of it is.
So I'm talking specifically about Fantasy High. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, there are 3 seasons of Fantasy High.
Nice.
Yeah, the way that Dimension 20 works, listeners, is that there are most of them are DM'd, or the games are run by Brendan Lee Mulligan. Some others are run by other folks like Abria Iyengar, who's another great DM and has also been a player sometimes. Yeah, every season is its own thing in a different setting, and sometimes with a different game system. So sometimes it's not always Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes they play a different tabletop RPG system, cool. That does things differently. But yeah, so it's cool because you get a wide variety of stuff. Because there's so many D&D podcasts and streams and stuff nowadays, and which is great. And I like that Dimension 20 specifically is it's uniquely basically, so for example, Critical Role is all live streams, or pre-recorded live streams now, but it's one long uncut sequence of just these people sitting out and playing together at a table, and it's they've had 3 campaigns with a few smaller campaigns here and there, but for the most part they've got 3 campaigns that are each over 100 episodes long each.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Whereas Dimension 20,
there was 17 episodes.
Yeah. What makes Dimension 20 cool is that it's the seasons are much shorter. It's more like an actual a TV show, in terms of the pacing of it, and the fact that it's all edited together, they cut out the fat, so it kind of runs more quickly than an actual D&D game would necessarily.
Yeah.
There's still
and I didn't even notice the edits. If you had told me that this was just raw, I would have believed you, because it was just because this is the first ever D&D playthrough podcast I've ever listened to. And so I have no experience of anything other than this, and I like it a lot, but it is just very well done, very well put together. It was kind of like listening to a TV show or an audiobook, audio drama kind of thing. But also you could tell it's improvised, but also still very thoroughly thought out. I found myself thinking about because presumably Brennan put this whole world together because he's the DM, and that's what DMs do.
Yes.
It was just kind of blown away just by the level of detail that he had prepared into making this entire world, and literally dozens of characters with backstories and all their own stats, and it's wild.
Yeah, DMing is intense. It's so cool, but also very if you want to do it well, it's very time consuming. There's a lot of preparation involved.
Yes.
So I am very impressed with anybody that takes on DMing. It's very impressive. It's cool. So to your point, what makes Dimension 20 so easily listenable / watchable is how high quality the production is. It's edited well and paced well, in addition to being just a well-run game with charismatic, funny, smart people.
Yes.
As the players. It's also produced well, it's edited well. They add music and sound effects to things to kind of add to the atmosphere of it. If you watch it on YouTube or on Dropout, they have visuals on screen of you see the players sitting at the table, but also they will sometimes have illustrations of the scene they're describing. There's also a table in front of them, they're all sitting around a table, and the table has models on it, and that's where they do their battles on it. And,
oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very cool. It's definitely worth I've been watching a lot of Dimension 20 recently, during dinner breaks and stuff.
Nice.
It's great. So the the one that I'm watching right now that I mentioned already is I'm watching season 2 of Misfits and Magic, which is great. It's a they're on. I think they just released episode 9. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be, but it's to briefly summarize. Yeah, it is the premise of season 1 at least was these 4 American teenagers get recruited to be exchange students for basically Hogwarts, and they get there and it's like the series ends up being both kind of a loving homage to Harry Potter and also a like, you know, pointing out and making fun of all the things that are kind of messed up or weird about Harry Potter.
Perfect. That's what I'm listening to next. Yeah. Thank you. Excellent. Yes.
It's excellent. It's excellent. Yeah, and that one is DM'd by Abri Eingar, who's also great. But Brennan is in it. He plays a character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's very good.
Bri Eingar were they in Fantasy High?
No.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, I think she mainly. I'm trying to think of, like, I know she has, you know, been a player in some before, but I think mostly she DMs.
Cool.
But yeah, she's like the other kind of main DM for Dimension 20. Like
nice.
She's done like, you know, Brennan does most of them, but she also does a handful of them.
Sweet.
And Misfits of Magic's great. And they're on season 2 right now. It's very good. Let's see, what other the other one that I've watched all the way through is Mice and Murder, which is a that was another one that they did during COVID. Mm-hmm. So it's all, you know, people on their webcams at home, and then Brennan sitting at like on set, and everybody else is just in their apartments or whatever. But like the premise is it's a sort of, you know, Clue style or Agatha Christie style murder mystery in a mansion. But all the characters are anthropomorphic animals. It's great.
Wonderful.
I love it. It's so good. And the other thing that makes it great is that like it's not like the cast is different. Like a lot of the Dimension 20 shows have a lot of overlap between the casts. Like they're not always the same. But most Dimension 20 shows have at least some of the people from Fantasy High from like the original cast. Mm. You know. This one is a cast of basically all people who don't really play D&D. They're other people who work at College Humor who are like comedy writers, and like Sam Reich is one of the players in this campaign. So fun. Sam Reich, host of Game Changer and Make Some Noise, and also CEO of Dropout. And yeah, it's so cool and fun, and it's especially interesting hearing like, you know, people who are also like, you know, really, you know, smart and funny and good improvisers, but who don't have a lot of experience playing games like this. Yeah. Kind of getting their feet wet and learning how to do it. And it's also just a really like compelling, fun mystery. And Brennan is really good at setting up puzzles. And like, it's right up my alley. I love the murder mystery kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. I love how like fun and lighthearted and whimsical while also being so like heartfelt and good and high quality. All of it is. I don't know, it's just it's a very like
it's wholesome.
It's a very wholesome escape, but also like being just like these like I actually care about these characters that are being improvised on the spot while I'm learning. They're learning about them as I'm learning about them. And
welcome to D&D. I mean, you know, good D&D is really, really good. Yeah, that's it. It's why it's been so friggin' crazy popular. Yeah, in recent years, just because it's such a like a fun like. Not, you know, to watch, and also because it's, you know, a bunch of like friends sitting around a table playing a game together, it feels like you're just hanging out with friends. Yes, you know, there's an element of like, this is a casual, good mood, good vibes situation, and and you get a good story out of it, and it's excellent. So
while listening to this, and knowing I was going to talk about it on the podcast, that made my brain connect to like, I remember Cal was telling us about how he did a Star Wars tabletop RPG kind of game, and how much fun that would be to do like with the unlimited content crew, or like I don't know, just get
that'd
like
be awesome.
That could be a fun like I don't know. We're never going to reach the end of the content because it's unlimited, but if we were looking for more content, that could be a fun
Somehow.
spin-off
Yeah,
of some sort.
Of course, that would be.
know?
I would love to do that. Yeah,
And then I was just
I really
trying to like brainstorm like what kind of character I would want to play as, and I just kind of wound up like combining different like funny characters that would be funny and fun to like act as while playing the game. Gosh, I had a character, but I was essentially going to be like a fallen away Jedi who was also Ron Burgundy. Was like what I wanted to do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was I want to be like a really old Jedi who like retires from the Jedi and like opens a restaurant or something.
Yes.
Just like a weird wacky old guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be a fun like I don't know, a good, I feel like a good premise for, I'm not coming up with this on the spot, for like a Star Wars D&D campaign would be like, Luke is trying to rebuild the Jedi Order in the aftermath of Episode 6. On the other side of the galaxy, there are other Jedi who are trying to do it but are doing a very bad job.
An even worse job.
Yes. And this is their story.
That's great. Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. The more we talk about this, the more I'm like, yeah, that would be great. Like, it's one of those things where like it would take a ton of prep work to do well.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I don't know who would DM
Cal.
and if it would be me or you or yeah. Cal, you want to DM?
Please.
I'm sure you're not busy.
No. Yeah. You don't do anything else. You just do Star Wars, right? Right? You're not in grad school. No.
You're not doing important work. You're not, being a philosopher, talking about smart stuff that we don't understand. Anyway,
way smarter than both of us.
Yeah. There's also like so many different, like there's a bunch of different options for, you could, use, the cool thing about like tabletop RPGs is that there are so many different systems that you can use. And like, something like, Dungeons and Dragons, for example, is obviously built for like a high fantasy setting, but you can also take that system and just adapt it to use for like a science fiction setting or like Star Wars or whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I like how like Star Wars, because like I like the fantasy aspect of D&D, but then Star Wars is sci-fi with fantasy. Cause I mean, there's just like the mystical side fantasy. Of, So
totally. Yeah. And there are also like official Star Wars RPG systems that you can try to like, but that that would require learning another system and whatever. But yeah,
I just want to like show up to a thing that somebody's. Yeah, I just want to like play this game. I have no time or energy to invest into like building up this game and this world.
Sure, yeah.
Someone should do it for me, and it could be fun. Yeah, do it, please. Yay!
Hey, if you're listening and you think you could DM this game for us, for free and for fun, and
we would play. That's what we would do.
Just if you wanted to do this thing for us for free, that's really hard and takes a lot of time and effort and energy. We'd be down.
We can give you exposure to a massive audience. We could do that.
Not only would we pay you in exposure, we'd pay you in bad exposure. In poor, minuscule exposure.
All 20 of our monthly listeners. Yay!
Amazing. No, staying on the D20 topic for a second. I'm thinking about the other seasons and which ones you might enjoy. I think there's one called A Starstruck Odyssey, which is basically it's a sci-fi one in space, and it's sort of Star Wars-y, sort of Star Trek-y, but it's actually, fun fact, based in a universe that comes from a series of books that was written by Brennan Lee Mulligan's mom.
What?
Yeah. So Brennan DM'd a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, or whatever game it was, campaign in his mom's fictional sci-fi universe.
That is so cool.
Yes. So A Star Trek Odyssey.
Love that.
And I think it's the Fantasy High cast. So it's that set of characters, that set of actors,
my goodness,
set of folks.
So I love them. They're all great.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Another one that's a relatively recent one, I think came out this year, was Mentopolis. It's a 6-episode series, and it is a kind of a noir mystery set inside someone's brain, and like different like character, different like each player plays like a different sort of aspect of the brain or a different like kind of thought, you know. And I've only watched like the first episode, but it was really good. I needed to just get back into it. But the main reason I bring it up is because Hank Green is in it.
Oh, that's what Hank Green's in.
Yes,
so fun. I remember seeing like clips of that. I think when it first released, and thought it looked so much fun. But I'm also just a big Hank Green fan. So I mean,
Mr. Hank Green.
Yeah, who wouldn't be? He's the greenest Hank I know.
Yeah. A selection of other ones. I think Max would want me to mention A Court of Fey and Flowers, which is sort of like it's fairies. It's fairy themed, and it's very pretty and flowery and cool. I haven't actually watched it, but
Max
apparently it's very good, fairies, and Max likes it a lot. What?
Max does like his fairies. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's nature sweet. That Max.
He is nature sweet.
Yeah, so that's another Abria Iyengar DM'd game.
Cool beans.
And Never Stop Blowing Up is the most recent one or the most recent one before Misfits Magic Season 2. Never Stop Blowing Up is it's basically a pastiche of like 80s and 90s action movies.
Wonderful. Good.
Yeah. Yes. Each of the players plays a person from the real world who is an employee at the last video rental store in California, but then also parallel to that they're playing like fictional action characters. I'm not super far into it, but like
that sounds fun.
It's great. So we could talk about Dimension 20 for another 8 hours, but we should probably move on to other things. So Dimension 20, it's good.
It is.
Listen or watch or whatever. Yes. Not a sponsor, but I mean,
that'd be fun.
They could. Yeah, that'd be fun.
They could.
What else are you up to, Sam? Other than Dimension 20ing?
Well, just one little fun personal note. So at work, I've officially made it past my initial 90 days, so they can't fire me for no reason anymore, which feels great. Love that. I also have my own temporary route starting tomorrow. So up until this point, I've just kind of been showing up at 10, which is its own kind of nightmare of not starting work until 10, and then they can work for 12 hours. And then just kind of not knowing what I'm going to do until I get there, and then learning a new route every day and all this stuff. Tomorrow, I get to go in at 8:30 and start working the same route every day.
Yay!
And I'm so excited to have an earlier start time, which means an earlier end time, and also working the same route every day. And especially consistency is great. And also the same route going into the holidays, which will be nice because the mail and packages are only going to get more intense. And also people like mail carriers in general, and in and around the holidays, I am told you're not supposed to accept them, but people do give gifts.
So on the record, you don't accept gifts?
On the record, I don't accept gifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the record.
This is a record. You can't say off the record while we're on.
I didn't say anything. I just stopped talking.
Because I stopped you.
No, you didn't.
I told you to stop.
No, you didn't.
Anyway, that's cool. Yeah. How long are you going to be on the... You said it's temporary. How long is this going to be?
So it's what's called a hold down, and it's basically you're holding down the route while the regular is out either on vacation or medical leave, and the regular, I think, is recovering from a surgery or an injury of some kind. And so it's going to be a while.
Cool.
So I'm thinking probably through the new year. I'll find out tomorrow.
Excellent.
But
awesome.
It was implied to me that it was going to be a long-term hold down, which is what I want, because I crave being able to do the same thing and just be able to show up and work and just get the job done and not have to think about the work beyond making sure I've grabbed all of the mail for this block. I want that to be the most amount of thinking I do is making sure I've got everything I need to grab before I walk out of the truck.
Yeah. Excellent.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I will report back with how it's going.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yes. How about you? What have you been up to? Anything new and exciting and fun in Jack's life?
Plenty. I mean, some. Enough to talk about.
Yay!
So let's see. Number one, I know I talked about this a while back, but I finally got Astro Bot, the game on PS5.
Yes.
Remind
me and our listeners, but mostly me, what Astro Bot is, because I remember the name. I don't remember thinking about
it. Yeah. So Astro Bot is a PS5 game that came out recently, like within the past like couple months. It's a 3D platformer where you play as a little friendly robot boy named Astro Bot, and it is basically a 3D platformer that is like a loving homage to all of PlayStation. So you are going around collecting all, like basically rescuing all the different like basically other Astrobots, but they are like wearing costumes that make them look like various PlayStation characters.
So you're like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and
yes,
nice,
yeah. And they go for like through the whole friggin' like the entire history of PlayStation. So you've got like
I love that,
all the big ones, but you've also got weird obscure ones. Like I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to games, but like a lot of the time I'll like the thing is that they like. You'll find them and it won't explicitly say like what the character's name is or what they're from, but it'll have like a sort of tongue-in-cheek like vague title referring to who it is. And, kind of as like a I don't know. It's almost like a little like riddle, but not like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's meant to be fun.
It's fan
fun.
service.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 100% fan service is what this game is.
Which is awesome. We love fan service.
Yes. Yeah. But not only that, it's also an incredible game. It's a really, really good, really fun, creative, beautiful game.
Sweet.
It got nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards this year. So
nice.
Doing super good. So this is actually the third Astro game. So the first one was called Astro Bot Rescue Mission, which was a VR game on the first PlayStation VR headset. And I never played that one, but I heard it was very good. Apparently it's a very good game. But it was a VR exclusive for a VR headset that I never had, so I didn't get to play it. Then when the PS5 launched, it came with a free download of a game called Astro's Playroom, which was basically maybe like a 4-hour game experience that was basically designed to like show off all the features of the PS5. So
cool.
It takes place inside of a PlayStation 5, and you're like each world is like a different. So you like go to the SSD world and the cooling world and the
that's
and,
so fun.
The CPU world. Yeah, it's great. And it's just a big like PlayStation fan service game. It's like 4 hours long. It's super fun and delightful, and it was free. And also like you unlock as you go through the game, you unlock different like artifacts from throughout the PlayStation's life. So like actual physical like products. So you can like there's like a museum that you go to, and you can like walk around and look at all the things. So you can unlock like the original PlayStation or the PS2 controller or the screen add-on for the PS1 or all these different weird accessories. And it's it's a fun just sort of it's the best kind of fan service. It's excellent. And so of course once that came out and it was great, but it was short, everybody was like, man, I wish they would come out with like a full game of this. That'd be cool. And so they did, and that's what they did. That's what Astro Bot is.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, so I've been playing it a ton. I've been playing it some at home and some at my friend's place, and just hanging out and vibing and getting excited about all the adorable things and the references that we can catch to different games. And yeah, it's delightful. It's very good. I also have the, you know what? Hold on. Give me a second.
Show and tell. Show and tell. Jack's gonna show me something and tell me about it. Show and tell. Show and tell. Show and tell. He's got a thing. He's got a thing. Jack has got a thing. Jack has got a thing. He's gonna show me about the thing.
Were you slandering me?
No, I was singing a show and tell song.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Because I know you've slandered me in the past while I was gone.
I have done no such thing. I
listen to every. I edit the episodes now. I know what you say. Anyway, so for reference, this is Astro. This is the cover of Astro Bot.
Look at him! There he is. Look at him standing on top of the PlayStation and stuff, and that's fun.
And yeah. So the premise is that they're flying around in space on their spaceship, which is a PS5, and then their ship crashes, and you have to go around and like find all the missing PlayStation characters the missing components of the PS5. So it's very, it's very PlayStation centric. But yeah, I love a good, friendly, cute robot. I love a good robot friend.
You are a big ol' robot fan.
Yes. So that's great. And then also, I got this like a month and a half before I got the game itself, but because I wanted to make sure I got it before it sold out. Yeah. This is the Astro controller.
It looks just like his face.
Yes, it's a limited edition DualSense controller for the PS5 that is like specially colored and has like his eyes on the touchpad, and it looks pretty, and it's got his face, his logo on the back of it.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, it's delightful.
It's just
I love
a little guy.
He's just a little guy. He's the friendliest, wonderfulest little guy. Yeah, it's great. So that's Astro Bot. Very good. Highly recommended if you have a PS5. Yeah. So I was playing that. Been loving that. And here's the thing that I'm very excited about.
Do tell.
My favorite band, Coheed and Cambria, announced their next album. So,
oh boy,
very, very excited for that. It's called Vaxis Act 3, The Father of Make Believe, which is
Perfect.
Such a Coheed title.
Yes, I was hoping it would be long and convoluted and mysterious, and that's exactly what it is.
Love it. Exactly. They released. They announced it. They released the cover art for it, which looks super cool. They released the first single, which is great, and they announced the release date, which is Pi Day 2025. Which it's Pi Day, it's new Coheed album release day, and it is the second anniversary of Unlimited Content. So that's gonna be
wow.
It's gonna be a good day.
What a day!
Good day for Jack Ford.
Man,
all the things I love: Unlimited Content,
2 years of Unlimited Content.
Cambria,
That's nuts.
And Pi. Yeah, 2 years.
It's
nuts.
Baffles me. I'm baffled.
We're not there yet.
No,
we haven't survived yet.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Just very. It's always a good day when you get new music from an artist you love. Indeed. And yeah, I'm on like the basically the mailing list for Coheed.
Yes.
I'll get like occasional like texts to my phone from like the Coheed and Cambria social channels where they're like, hey, tickets are on sale for our next tour, or we released a lyric video for one of our songs, or here's a B-side that we're releasing now as a single that didn't make it onto the album. So it's like a bunch of stuff that's not like super exciting to me, and so every time I get a message from them, I'm like, it's probably gonna be just something whatever. But then finally the thing happened that I've been waiting for, which is an actual announcement that excites me. Yes, new album. So very, 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 very excited for that.
Love
it. Love. Yes. Yeah. Did I show you my tortilla blanket, Sam?
You texted me a picture of it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it live on camera though.
So,
is it specifically the HEB tortilla blanket?
Yes.
I love it. Does it smell like tortillas? You just sniffed it.
No. Oh, okay. Luckily, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or unluckily.
Yeah. HEB Bakery. Yeah. So I have a HEB is the best grocery chain in Texas, and it's based in like South and Central Texas. They've got a couple in North Texas now, but anyway,
Fort Worth.
they're great.
Yeah.
And they have started because like people love this grocery store chain so much. They do actually sell merchandise. So like a friend of mine like showed me that the other day they started like they put up like a Christmas aisle, and they have ornaments that look like HEB shopping carts. Perfect. I'm probably gonna get one of those.
Good.
But the other thing that I saw that I was like, oh my god, I need that. I immediately knew I needed that. Is a big old fleece throw blanket that looks like a tortilla, and it has the HEB like tortilla packaging logo on it.
It's perfect.
So I could be a burrito.
Yep.
I can fulfill my dream, my lifelong dream of being an HEB brand burrito.
We got Marion a tortilla blanket, and we turn her into a Marion burrito all the time. She loves it. It doesn't have the HEB branding though. It's a tortilla that's been pulled out of the HEB package, most likely, not in the package.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
it is an HEB tortilla. That's what you're saying, but not officially. So Marion burrito.
Marion burrito.
Excellent.
Yeah, she loves it. It's fun. She's adorable.
And the great thing about this is like it's like a $16 throw blanket from a grocery store.
Yes.
How good quality is it going to be, right?
Yeah.
I fully expected to get it and be like, oh, this is a nice novelty, but it's not like actually it's something I would use as a blanket. It's super soft. It's so nice.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's quality. It's excellent. I love it. So
beautiful.
yes, that's my tortilla. When I went to Half Price Books today, just to get out of the apartment, and I got a book. So I've not played Crash Bandicoot 4, but I now have the art book of Crash Bandicoot 4.
Wonderful.
The giant,
that is
beautiful
large.
art book.
It's still beautiful. Is it still in the wrapping?
It's still in the wrapping. List price is $45. I got it for $10.
You got an unopened book for 10. Wow.
A really nice video game making of art book for $10. Like that, like even though it's a game that I haven't played, I'm like I gotta get it. It's like it's a crazy deal, and I love behind the scenes and like concept art stuff. And
Crash 3 was a lot of fun. I know that.
We played a lot of Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Naughty Dog.
Yep. So that's cool. I need to play Crash 4. So
yes.
That's another
was
game.
Was that PS3 game?
No, this is a recent one. This is PS4.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Crash Bandicoot 3 was out for the PS1.
Yes, the series was on a hiatus for a pretty long time. Like it got a handful of like kind of spin-off games, but for the most part, because like Naughty Dog moved on to other games, and so yeah. So this is made by a company called Toys for Bob.
Who's Bob?
Good. I don't know, but he's got lots of toys.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all that I can think of that I've been up to. Yeah.
Star Wars news?
Star Wars news.
Skeleton Crew comes out like next week.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew comes out December 3rd, I think.
Yeah, that's mid next week.
Yeah, so that's in like 10 days, 9 days. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. I've been meaning to watch the YouTube channel Star Wars Explained, which I love. They did like a kind of a roundtable interview with all like the kids from the show. I've been meaning to watch that because that sounds delightful.
That does sound fun.
What else? I don't think there's any other Star Wars-y stuff that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Apparently, Star Wars Outlaws is getting a bunch of updates that are making it a lot better.
Ooh.
So yeah,
was it kind of a glitchy game?
It was glitchy, but also just like there were a lot of like details about the design and gameplay systems and stuff that kind of rubbed people the wrong way or were kind of annoying. But apparently, it's become a much like it wasn't a bad game, but apparently it's become a much better game since release. So
that's
cool.
Nice.
Which makes me feel better about the fact that I haven't really played it yet. I played the opening hour basically and like set it down and went on to something else. But now, once I get back to it, it'll be better. So
cool.
That's good.
Love that.
That's cool. Yeah. Love it.
Yep. In Star Wars adjacent, not news. This is just something I learned.
Yeah.
So, after Last Airbender, there is a song called "Secret Tunnels." This song apparently was sung by D. Bradley Baker. He's the voice actor who sings it. I didn't know that.
He's the weird hippie guy.
He is.
That's amazing. Don't let the cave-in get you down, sucker.
That's D. Bradley Baker. That's Rex.
What a legend, Mr. D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah.
What a beautiful man.
Indeed.
With a beautiful voice.
I just want to share that with you because I saw that.
I'm glad you shared it with me.
Yes.
That's very good. Here's something. I don't know if we Well, no, when was the last time we recorded?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, so we probably already talked about this. The fact that there's the Godzilla -1 is getting a sequel, there's going to be a new Godzilla film from the director of Godzilla -1. Yeah,
I do believe we did discuss that. Yes, and I am still as excited as I was before.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool.
I'm gonna get a Godzilla tattoo at some point. I love.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's gonna happen.
That's great.
In fact, I might get a Godzilla tattoo before I get a Star Wars tattoo, just because I think it would look
Really?
it would look a lot cooler. Because
Yeah, probably.
You know.
I mean, it depends on what the tattoo is. I don't know. You should get a Yaddle tattoo. That'd be cool.
that'd be weird.
You can get a Yaddle tattoo, Sam.
Why Yaddle?
I don't know.
What's the first obscure Jedi
I was like, what's the least intimidating Jedi that I can think of?
And you went with
It's
Yoda,
like,
but a girl.
I mean, kinda. I mean, nothing against Yaddle. I just think like it's funny. With apologies to Yaddle, I think you're funny. Anyway, so.
Oh man.
That's cool.
Yep.
Well, is it time for us to move on to our first ever full-length segment of Got a Podcast?
I do believe it is. Jack, where does this take place in the timeline?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It came out in 1996. That's something.
That's a timeline.
Yep. It aired. Okay, so I'm gonna read from. This is from the Sonic Wiki.
Yeah. What's the moral?
The moral of this episode is, well, actually, fun fact.
What?
This is the one episode of the series that doesn't have a moral.
Wait, really?
Believe it or not. Yes.
So
the original Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
What we have to do is you have to read all the other morals.
Okay. Hold on.
I was joking, but I guess we're doing it.
No. We're doing some of them at least. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the end of each episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which ran in 1993 from September to December for 65 episodes. It looks like
65 episodes in like how many months?
That's what it says. Original run 6th September 1993 to 3rd December 1993. Wow,
that's less than 3 months, and they got 65 episodes.
That doesn't sound right.
What?
Maybe that was like the first season or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, point is, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Every episode, other than the Christmas special, had a segment at the end called Sonic Says, which is a PSA segment. And let's see.
Is it like Anime X Wheel of Morality?
It is. It's that, except not a parody. It's like it's unironic. So I'll just read off a listing of some. I don't. It's like a segment. It's not like one line. It's like they do like a skit where they like teach you a thing.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna read off some of what the Sonic Wiki says the segments are about. So in the unaired pilot, the Sonic Says is about crossing the street. There's one about calling 911. There's one about sexual harassment.
What?
It just says sexual harassment.
This is a kid's show in the 90s.
There's one about sunburns. So
I like how I like how sexual harassment and sunburns are getting like equal treatment under the Sonic.
Yeah, there's dares. It just says dares. So like don't take dares, I guess. There's one just says hearing. So maybe it's like protect your hearing. There's one called strangers. There's balanced diets. There's one about running away from home. Presumably don't.
Presumably. Can't confirm or deny.
My favorite one, riding in clothes dryers. Yeah, so there's
Thanks, Sonic.
Thanks, Sonic. Sonic says don't crawl into a clothes dryer. It's not going to be fun. This wild animals, gangs. Caution with sharp objects. Babysitting. Recycling. Car safety. Matches. How to escape a house fire. Alcohol. Wait, one of them just says breakfast. Does that mean eat breakfast because it's healthy?
And it's
the
just,
most important
it's just
meal of the
chili
day?
dogs, right? That's what you have at breakfast? Because it's
That's what you
Sonic.
do.
Yep.
Yeah. Library. The last one's just called library. Use your local library, kids.
Oh.
That's cool. Guns. There is one about guns. That's something.
Like
Unfortunately,
real guns or like the big trucks?
Or like the guns that Shadow the Hedgehog uses.
Yeah. Damn.
Shadow was not around at this point to make guns look cool.
Damn.
Damn. Do you remember that
Yes.
every time he dies in that game, he says "damn"?
Yes.
And that's
why it was rated teen, just for that.
Yeah, it's because he says "damn"
and he has a gun, and not like a sci-fi looking laser gun. It was a Glock.
Yeah, he had one that. So in the opening cutscene, he has one that looks like basically an AK-47, but he cocks it like a shotgun.
Oh man.
There's one scene from the game during a cutscene that's been memed to death where he just goes, "Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?" It's like they're trying so hard to be edgy and cool by just adding. It's very like I'm a 13-year-old and I just learned a curse word.
Yeah, I know what cussing is. Look at me. This makes me cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Is there a Sonic Says about cursing? You think?
Let's find out.
Let me see. Nope, not as far as I can tell. There's one about using your imagination. There's one about currents and riptides. Anyway, so the many morals of Sonic Says, and we decided to watch the one episode that doesn't have a moral.
Yep.
So what does that say about us?
I don't know. That Christmas is amoral. That's what it means. Yep.
Cool. Excellent. All right.
Did you know that in Bulgarian, the title of this episode is Sonic the Christmas Hedgehog?
Is it now?
It is.
Okay. Cool.
In Serbian, it's Sonic's Christmas Rush.
Oh. Are you looking at the trivia section right now?
I'm looking at titles in other languages.
Oh.
In French, it's Santa
there it
Claus is an understudy. That's the title. In French.
So, in the trivia section, it says the French name for this special is a reference to Le Père Noël est une ordure, which, I probably butchered that, but it means Santa Claus is a stinker, which is a popular French comedy play and movie.
Oh.
So, there you go. Sonic Saves Christmas. Sonic A Christmas Adventure. Sonic's Fantastic Christmas. Sonic A Booming Christmas. Sonic Saves Christmas. Sonic's Christmas Rush. Yeah. So many fun titles. Another trivia fact before we even talk about this episode at all. The special is advertised in the comic book Sonic the Hedgehog number 41 as an extremely Sonic Christmas. This suggests the special was intended to promote the Sega Saturn game Sonic X-treme, which was later canceled. As a result, the special was changed to be named after the Sonic game that did come out in time for Christmas, Sonic 3D Blast. So there you go. Yeah, and that's why at the end of the episode he says he wishes us an extremely Merry Christmas.
I see.
It wasn't just because he was trying to be cool; it was because he was trying to advertise for his game that didn't come out. So anyway,
Sweet.
So Sonic Christmas Blast is a Christmas television special for the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series produced by DIC Entertainment. It aired on the USA Network in 1996, nearly 3 years after the previous episode to end the series. When Toon Disney aired the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog series, Sonic Christmas Blast was regularly shown in their annual Christmas marathons. Let's do it. Do you want to read the plot summary, Sam?
I would love to. An impenetrable defense. Here we go.
An impenetrable defense.
Yep. Christmas Eve has come to Robotropolis, and everyone in town is gathered around a jumbotron in the middle of town square, so that they can see Santa Claus, who is clearly a robot, make a very important announcement. He's retiring, and he has chosen Dr. Robotnik, now wearing a Santa Claus costume and calling himself Robotnik Claus, as his replacement. Can we just talk about Robotnik Claus and how it is the worst Santa outfit I've ever seen in my life, intentionally so, but it's so bad.
Yeah, his belly is showing. He's got a sock with like a hole in it.
Yeah, his toes sticking out. Yeah.
Yeah. What I like the most about it is that he's got a fake like Santa beard on, but because his mustache is so big and long, it hangs on his mustache.
Yeah, instead of his ears, it's hooked on his mustache. I love it. All right.
I love the fact that the wiki's like, who is clearly a robot. Like, which I mean, yes, he is, but like,
because I mean,
people don't notice, which is why.
No one notices, but like he's glitching, and he has screws in all of his joints. So yeah. Oops.
Anyway, Mr. Robo Claus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that Robotnik is in charge of Christmas, he demands that everyone give him presents for Christmas instead of the other way around. Robotnik then sits in a mall.
What a dastardly fiend.
I know. Robotnik then sits in a mall so kids can sit on his lap and tell him what they're going to give him for Christmas. A little boy punches him in the stomach after Robotnik tells him about this new rule, and Robotnik orders Grounder to take the boy to work as a slave in one of his robot factories. So that I also noticed, like, in the summary didn't mention this, but he said, all right, moms are not allowed to sit on my lap, only kids. Like, he said that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's like, no moms.
That was weird. Yeah,
just kids.
I think actually it was one of their robots. It was so in this animated series, Eggman has two like main henchman robots. It's this little guy who's like on treads and has like drills for hands. Yeah. And it's this other guy who's just like a tall, skinny robot chicken.
Yep. It's Grounder and Scratch.
Yeah. Grounder and Scratch.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazing. It's incredible. Grounder, by the way, I noticed like near the end of the episode, there's a shot where you can see Grounder from behind. Grounder has a butt. They drew a butt on him.
That's
you can see
amazing.
His cheeks. It's very weird.
I love that. I don't know why, but I do. Meanwhile, Sonic recruits Tails to help him find some Christmas presents for Princess Sally. This confuses Tails because Sonic just agreed with Sally that they wouldn't get each other anything for Christmas this year. It turns out that they made the same agreement last year, and Sally ended up getting Sonic a bunch of cool stuff anyway, such as a ring on his finger that she gave him last year. That ring is definitely not important. Don't pay attention to it. While Sonic usually took the agreement seriously and did not get her anything, this year, however, Sonic's decided to actually get Sally a bunch of presents. The duo arrives in Robotropolis to find that all the stores in the local mall are empty. A nearby kid shows and alerts Sonic and Tails about Santa's retirement and Robotnik taking over the chore. Just then, Scratch and Grounder show up with the robot Santa, who is actually giving the retirement announcement earlier, and try to kill them. But of course, they fail miserably. Sonic, disguised as a garbage man, then tricks the henchbots into telling him where the real Santa is.
A couple things here. Number one, I love the fact that when they pull up in their truck and like they go out there, they literally like without prompting are like they literally just say what they did and what their plan is. They're like, yeah, this is actually a robot. This isn't a real Santa. We kidnapped the real Santa, and now we're gonna kill you. Like it's a classic villain thing to do, to like monologue and like explain your plan. But it's so like immediate and thorough and like prompted. It's just so funny to me.
I also love that it doesn't look like this is in the summary, but there's a scene that I thought was just so like stupid and funny. Grounder and Scratch they knock on somebody's door and they're like, "Hey, what are you giving Robotnik for Christmas?" He's like, "Well, my wife is sick and I just lost my job, so I literally all I have is my house." Like, sounds like you're giving us your house. And then this big crane just comes and like claw machines his house. It just yanks it up and puts it in the back of a dump truck.
Yeah, man, the most heavy-handed metaphor for capitalism I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, oops. Jeez, yeah. I also love that like Eggman's plan is like he doesn't want to take over the world. He's just like, I'm gonna kidnap Santa, pretend to be Santa, and then tell people as Santa that you need to give me presents now, so I can have presents forever. Like he just wants presents.
Yeah.
Like, do you think maybe if Eggman was like given like, I don't know, a choo-choo train, like the Winter Warlock got a gift and he was like, a present, a toy for me, that his heart would melt and he'd be nice?
No, I think he'd just try to blow up the moon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He does enjoy blowing up moons.
Indeed.
Yeah. So that. Was there another thing I was? Oh yeah. So I haven't seen a ton of the original Sonic animated series, but one thing I do know is that Sonic does love his disguises. He wears a lot of disguises. It's a recurring like gag where they just go back to every like over and over again of like. Yeah, Sonic's gonna pretend to be so. You know, it's very like classic Looney Tunes. You know,
yes.
like Bugs Bunny will dress up as somebody and trick somebody. Yeah, he's rascally. That's Sonic.
That he is.
Yeah.
All right. So, in spite of attacks by some SWAT bots, Sonic manages to free Santa. But it doesn't change the fact that Robotnik still has all the presents. Just then, Santa recognizes the squiggle on the ring that Sally gave Sonic. You know, the one that wasn't important. Yeah. It was important. I tricked you.
What?
I know. Santa recognizes the squiggle on the ring that Sally gave Sonic last year as being the same squiggle on an ancient cave painting that reveals the secret of achieving ultimate speed. Apparently, the one who wears the ring, Sonic in this case, must pass 3 tests of skills to use its power.
So at this point, Sonic, like... Santa's like, all right, you have to do these things, and then there's like no explanation as to why he has to do them, or like,
right? No,
like there's no like demonstration of like, oh, now that you've done this thing, the ring is powered up. It just kind of is like, oh, you can use the ring now,
right?
But it's like the things he has to do is he's like, okay, Sonic, you have to climb this mountain, so he climbs the mountain. Okay, Sonic, you have to snowboard down this mountain. He snowboards down the mountain, and then it turns into like a weird triathlon where he gets on a bike too, and then yeah, it's.
Yeah,
it's very silly.
It is very silly. It was very like, oh, Sonic just all of a sudden does a video game side quest in the Christmas special. That's what this was.
Yeah, it was very like, oh, okay, I guess, all right, sure. It happens like 15 minutes into the 20-minute special, so it's like, wow, they have to like go on a whole journey.
Yeah, no, it's like the almost climax of the episode is this this like random like
they introduce a new like, oh, you've got to get all the gems. You got to get the Chaos Emeralds. You got to get the. I mean, that'd be cooler if you had to get the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. No.
He has to climb a mountain and then snowboard down a different mountain.
Yep. And there's a paraglider something at some point.
Yes. Yeah, he goes from snowboarding to paragliding to bike riding, and then at one point he bike rides through the water through a lake and then comes back up. And he has a fish in his mouth and he spits it out and a polar bear
on Christmas. So I imagine that was cold. Oops.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yep.
I think it was also like near the North Pole too, so that's
because Santa's workshop was right there.
Yep.
There it is. All right. So, Sonic passes the test easily in spite of Scratch and Grounder's attempts to stop him, and then he uses his enhanced super speed to steal back the presents Robotnik had taken, as well as the Doctor's clothes, and redistribute the presents all over Mobius. What's Mobius? Is that the world that they...
Mobius is the planet.
The planet. Got it. Cool. Good to know.
That's the planet where they live, yeah.
I see. After the Hedgehog delivers Sally's presents, Santa, impressed with the job, decides to retire after all and gives his job over to Sonic. An elf then gives Sonic Santa's hat, crowning him in essence, and Tails says that he is Sonic Claus. Sonic then wishes the viewers an extremely Merry Christmas every year of their lives. The end.
He does say every year.
He does.
Every year of our life.
Yeah, that way they don't have to do another. That way they don't have to do another one. Like, this is the one special you get.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I love the fact that, like, they're like, this is the last episode of the series, and it's the one where Sonic becomes Santa. So I like to imagine, like, if the show had kept going, it would just be, like, every episode would be a Christmas special where he's Santa now.
Yeah.
Like... Man, I want to know what what happens next in this continuity.
Yeah, like, what is the in-universe explanation for how Sonic continues to be Sonic and Santa?
a comic book series that like continues this or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta know. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah.
I loved I love the music in this episode of
It's just in the Hall of the Mountain King over and
all
over
the music
again.
was Christmas music. It was mostly in the Hall of the Mountain King and like the Nutcracker and occasionally like another classic Christmas song, but all like instrumental on a Saturday morning cartoon budget, you know?
Yeah.
It's very silly.
Yep. I'll definitely
Especially like in contrast to Sonic the Hedgehog, which
it's all license free, like free use Christmas music.
exactly like classical whatever, like out of copyright. It's just funny to me that like we're getting all these just actual Christmas songs in a Sonic thing where like Sonic is like the one thing that's consistent about Sonic, at least in the video games, is that it's got good music,
Incredibly good music.
Having like no music from the games and just all like actual real world Christmas music feels so weird.
It did.
Also, it's the fact that there's like that this anytime there's a Christmas special in a show, I always have to wonder, like, so do they have Christianity here? Like,
Yeah. Does that mean there's a Sonic Jesus?
What does Sonic think? Yeah, what does Sonic think about transubstantiation? What is Sonic's opinion about about who's the true pope? You know? Like,
Does that mean there's also Christian nationalism in the Sonic universe?
Oh God. I mean, you know, I'd rather have Robotnik. I'd rather
Honestly?
have Robotnik claws.
Yeah. Weird, fat, ugly Robotnik claws.
Well, that was Sonic's Christmas Blast. Sonic Christmas Blast. What did you think of Sonic Christmas Blast, Sam?
It's the best Christmas thing we've watched on this podcast.
That is the best thing you can say about it. Yes. It's not like it's not
bad.
good.
It's very much
It's not terrible.
It's very much a mid '90s Saturday morning cartoon Christmas special. It's exactly what it is. And Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, we love Sonic the Hedgehog on this podcast and on this sub podcast.
Yes.
We are not going to come out and tell you, like, with a straight face, that Sonic the Hedgehog is the greatest cartoon to ever grace this earth. It's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
I had a lot of fun.
Agreed. It's a fun novelty, especially as as fans of Sonic, just kind of seeing this weird historical relic.
Yes.
Of like, I think that's fun and weird and cool to just be like, that's weird, but I appreciate that this thing exists.
Indeed.
You know? I love the fact that they introduced this like weird, just out of nowhere, oh, I got this ring that has a weird symbol on it at the beginning of the episode, and at the end of the episode it's Santa the Claus is like, oh, that's the thing that gives you access to the Speed Force. You can go infinite speed now, but you have to climb this mountain first.
First you must answer my riddles 3. Then you can
it's very like tropey in a way that doesn't actually like make a ton of sense. It's just like,
right.
You know, they threw this together because it has a bunch of things in it that like have been used in stories before, not because it's like it makes a whole lot of sense here. I mean, it's fun.
It makes as much sense as like video game characters telling you to press buttons in dialogue.
That's true.
It makes the exact same amount of sense.
That's true.
That is another one of my favorite dumb like video game tropes is when like in the tutorial mode of video games where NPCs are telling you to press buttons on your controller to do things in the game.
I like it when it comes in like the middle of like a really serious lore drop. They're like this sword was passed down to you from your father's father, and now I pass it on to you. You must use it to save the princess.
Yes, press R2
hold the B button.
Hold down R2 to target, and then press X to swing.
Exactly. Love it. Yeah. Did you have a favorite moment from this Sonic Christmas Blast, Sam?
All of it. I think when the two robots steal the house. That was
so out of nowhere and so funny.
Like, I guess you're giving Robotnik your house. Claw machine.
Yeah.
Crunch. What about you?
I liked. Well, liked is a strong word. I thought it was funny that we saw his butt. That we saw.
No, I'm just bummed that I missed Grounder's butt. I didn't see it.
I'll take a screenshot. Yeah, hold on.
That should just be the entire album cover
real quick
for this. It's just Grounder's.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a special logo for this for the thing. But yeah, you can also put his butt somewhere.
Yeah, or I might just make the logo a tramp stamp on his butt. That might be what I do.
Oh, cool, great.
There it is.
Hey, hold on. Let me find. Where's Grounder's butt? I swear we see it at some point. I made mental note of it because I was like, that's real weird. Nope, that's Sonic Claws. Oh, there, hold on. Da-da. Yeah. Hold on.
Grounder is he's a boss from a video game. Is he? From Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, cool. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is fun. It's like a puzzle game. It's Puyo Puyo, but with a Sonic skin on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically Sonic Dr. Mario.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, look at that. I just sent it to you in chat, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
He very clearly has a butt. You see it, right?
Yep. That's
I'm not crazy. Look at he's got a big old butt.
Yeah,
and Scratch does not.
It's subtle, but it was definitely a choice on the animator's part to include that.
I wouldn't call that subtle. He's got a dump truck there. I mean,
okay.
All right, I'll stop talking about his butt, Sam. Gosh,
I will concede just so we can change the subject.
Anyway. So yeah, one thing I found out, this is not actually the only Sonic the Hedgehog Christmas special.
What?
Because there's an animated series that was a web series that came out like a few years ago. It's Sonic Mania Origins, I want to say.
Okay.
And hold on. No, sorry, Sonic Mania Adventures. It is it's 12 minutes in total, but it's like 7 like little shorts basically, and they're very well animated, and one of them is a Christmas one. Apparently, I only know about this because I saw it in the suggested videos, like while I was watching this one.
Okay,
so, there you go. But yeah. Anyway,
but this is the only full length.
True. The only 22-minute full episode of a thing that's Christmassy.
Indeed.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Sonic Mania Adventures Part 6 Holiday Special. Metal Sonic and Eggman crash into the jungle after being defeated. Broken, abandoned, and alone. As seasons pass and the skies turn cold, a surprise appearance may change Metal Sonic's fate forever.
Does Santa save Metal Sonic?
No, Amy does.
Amy. Oh.
It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds long, it looks like. But anyway, fun times. More Star Wars is better Star Wars.
Oh man.
Are there any Wilhelm screams here, Sam?
No.
Who do you think is the MVP of this episode, Sam?
Grounder's butt.
Agreed. Grounder's butt.
Also the kid that punches Robotnik in the stomach.
that kid, the weirdest, most freakish looking animated kid I've ever seen. His face is just like his mouth is all contorted and weird.
It is the most early 90s cartoon child.
Yeah. Exactly. He looks so weird.
Like he looks like he belongs in like Ren and Stimpy or something. Like
Yeah. He's got that weird sort of just like somebody sketched this really fast and just decided to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Sort of vibe, you know?
Yes.
This sort of, that's a very, 90s cartoon style of, let's just exaggerate things, a lot, really angularly, and, yeah, it's just, it's very...
Yep, they're going they're going for distinct and memorable design and not for, this looks like a person.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I don't think this makes Star Wars better, Sam. So I think we can move on.
Cool.
Do we have any voicemails this week, Sam?
No. Except Santa called. I'm just kidding.
Damn. You got my hopes up for a second.
Did I?
I do have, however, an idea for a mini game we can play right now.
Yes.
So, in honor of our first full-length Got a Podcast episode,
Yes.
I figured we could play a game called Real Sonic Character or Not a Real Sonic Character.
Great.
So I'm going to tell you the name of a character, and you have to tell me if this character is an actual Sonic character that it actually exists somewhere in official Sonic media, or if this is a character that I made up.
Wonderful.
Okay. Number 1, Metal Knuckles.
Not real.
Real. It's real.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was in Sonic R, which is Sonic R was a racing game, but like the only like Sonic racing game where, actually not the only one, but the first Sonic racing game where you like actually ran around, like as opposed to being in carts, because they're like kart racers. I think it was a Sega Saturn game. I want to say.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah. So Metal Knuckles. Marine the Raccoon.
Real.
Real. True. Yeah, she was in Sonic Rush Adventure, which was the sequel to Sonic Rush on the Nintendo DS.
I see.
All right. Fang the Sniper.
Not real.
That is real.
Are these all real? You just read a list of Sonic characters and just try to find the most absurd ones.
You can't spoil the bit immediately, It's just I had the idea for for this minigame, and then I was like, you know what would be really funny if I just read only real ones, because there are so many ridiculous Sonic characters.
Yeah.
Because there's because the Sonic comic series, like the Archie Comics Sonic series, is the longest running comic based on a video game. It ran for like over a decade, I think. Like,
oh, dang.
It was, yeah, and the plot gets crazy. It's nuts.
All right, let's do some more wacky names.
Yeah, so Fang the Sniper, originally known as Knack the Weasel outside of Japan, Fang the Sniper is a treasure-hunting weasel wielding a pop gun. He's a dirty gunslinger who seldom plays by the rules and chases after the Chaos Emeralds, but only for profit. Fang first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble and made subsequent appearances in Sonic Drift 2 and Sonic the Fighters. I'm taking most of this from an article from Screen Rant, by the way, because I just Googled weird, obscure Sonic characters, and this is one of the things that came up. Mephiles the Dark. This isn't like an obscure one so much, but I just like how silly his name is.
Yes.
Yeah. Mephiles the Dark is the main villain of Sonic 06, of the Sonic the Hedgehog reboot that came out in 2006 that was infamously bad because it was so buggy, because they rushed it to come out for Christmas. It's considered one of the worst games ever made.
Wonderful.
But good. Yeah, Mephiles the Dark is just, he's like, he takes on the form of Shadow, so he looks like Shadow, but like more like black and white and evil. Let's see. Mina Mongoose.
I found some fun ones.
Tell me.
So there's, I'm just on the Grounder Sonic wiki page, but this is just a list of friends, neutral, and enemies of Grounder. In terms of friends and allies, there's Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Did you know Ivo was his first name? IVO?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
Mama Robotnik. So
Mama Robotnik.
So presumably Robotnik's mom. Neutral. Coconuts.
Coconuts?
Coconuts.
That sounds like the name of
Coconuts
a
is an
fun animal
antagonist.
character.
Without looking up Coconuts, what do you think Coconuts looks like?
Like a monkey?
Yeah, it's a monkey with a light bulb on its head.
With a light bulb on its head. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's see. There's and then enemies. There's, let's see, Da Bears, which is just two bears.
Da Bears.
Da Bears. There's King Arthur.
Arf? Is he a dog?
Yes.
Arf.
Yeah, it is a dog with a giant nose and a huge crown. Yeah, spelled ARFUR. Arthur. There is Robotnik Jr. is one of his enemies. Miss Saccharin, old lady. There is Throbbing Screech. And
Throbbing Screech.
And Throbbing Screech's niece. Those are the character names.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. And then there's also Lucas, who's just a kid.
I'm just a kid.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Is a nightmare. Okay, hold on. I need to look up because there's so much. Like, I'm trying to find, because I know they're like just crazy. Like, there's so much time travel stuff in the Sonic comics and like weird alternate dimension evil characters and cyborgs and stuff. I gotta find. Hold on. So. Fun fact, Sonic the Hedgehog, according to the comics, his real name is Ogilvy Maurice Wentworth Hedgehog.
Say that again.
Ogilvy Maurice Wentworth Hedgehog.
Ogilvy Maurice Wentworth Hedgehog.
Is his
who, what, where, when, why? What is what?
Yeah, it's just it's a sort of half true thing because like part of that was in one of the comics, another one was like one of the comics writers was like, this is what I was intending his name to be, and so it's like not canon actually in any sense, but it's like I just like saying that fact out of context, so because it's so
That's
weird.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun. Oh. There was one Sonic related thing I wanted to talk about. One bit of like fun. Like I feel like I probably told you about this at one point, but have I told you about the Shadow Generations Keanu Reeves DLC?
I think you mentioned it. Yes.
Yeah. So in December, there's going to be a downloadable extra level for Shadow Generations, where you play as live-action Shadow in real-world Japan, and he is voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Wonderful.
So I'm very excited.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. That game is very good, by the way. Shadow Generations. It's so good. It's the best time I've had playing a 3D Sonic game in forever.
I love that. Good. I'm definitely gonna get it at some point.
Cool. Yep. All right. Well, it's been a fun time. What are you thankful for, Sam? I mean, this is our holiday special. Thanksgiving's a holiday.
Yeah. That's true. Thanksgiving is in like 4 days.
True.
Yep.
So what are you thankful for, and will you keep Christmas in your heart all year?
Of course I'll keep Christmas in my heart all year. Where else am I gonna put it?
In my spleen.
Yeah. I am thankful for my family. That's what I'm thankful for.
Yay.
What about you?
I'm thankful for Astro Bot. No, I'm thankful for my family and for you and for this podcast and the time we get to spend with each other online.
Indeed.
It's very good. Yeah, this podcast brings me a lot of joy and satisfaction, and just, even if nobody listened, it would still be worth it. It's fun getting to hang out with my brother.
Yeah. It's excuses for us to hang out more.
Excuses to watch. Excuses for us to hang out more, and also to watch weird, obscure television specials.
Indeed.
So, that's gonna be it for us this year. Join us back in 2025 when we watch another Star Wars thing, probably. At some point soon, maybe the next episode, we're gonna have another guest on.
Mayhaps.
You'll find out.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Remember, stay in school, don't do drugs, don't climb in a dryer, gotta go fast. Got a podcast. And may the force be with you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
An extremely Merry Christmas. Every year of your life.
All right, cut the chatter. Roger.